everybody. A subject came up yesterday that has been bothering me for a few weeks now. I read on the BBC app yesterday that England is going to bring out a new bill to stop slapping, punishment of children. I know Wales have got it, and I think Scotland's got it, so England is now going to go to full whack and completely ban it forever. I personally think it's wrong, and the title of this video is to slap or not to slap. That is the question. But there seems to be a bit of confusion somewhere. Some people regard slapping as abuse, physical abuse. I personally do not think it's physical abuse. If you're talking about cases of abuse, you're talking about, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, talking about people, that little Pakistani girl that was abused for 2 years and the parents left her to die and run off to Pakistan, and now they're back again on trial. That to me is abuse. That should be banned. That should be illegal. That should never happen. But on the BBC app, it showed you a picture of a guy, and on his lap was a baby, probably about a year-old baby, not even a year. I'm not really clued up on the baby's ages. But he said children abuse should be banned. And I thought to myself, well, fucking hell, hang on. You've got a little baby there, probably not even a year old. We're not talking about smacking a freaking year-old baby or something like that. But let me, there seems to be, it's some certain people, the ones that think they're doing good for everybody, and church people. Now, even in the Bible, I believe, I'm not into the Bible, but I believe there is somewhere it says that crime shouldn't go unpunished. So I think it's getting a bit out of hand, this abuse and slapping. Let me give you an example. When I was a kid, in the 60s, I was at school and it was common knowledge to get hit by teachers. One teacher in particular, Mr. Waddylove, was my English teacher. I could guarantee that I got slapped round the head at every lesson that I had with him, because every time we had to compose a story, I just used to put the date and the title, and then I used to just sit there. And all of a sudden, I used to feel this hand at the back of my head, slap. It didn't do me any harm. There was a music teacher, Mr. Parker. Now, a lot of teachers in our school in London, South East London to be exact, use a slipper on pupils. And when I say a slipper, it's not like a normal house slipper, it's like a trainer. So if you can imagine a trainer, but this Mr. Parker, he must have had the biggest feet in the world, because I think his trainer must have been about a size 11. And he removed the canvas from the top of it. So all what was left was a rubber sole, basically. No, the Beatles didn't get that from the slipper, no. It was basically a rubber sole. Now, when I went into music with Mr. Parker, I fucking behaved. I did not flinch a muscle to upset that man, because I have witnessed every boy that went in front of Mr. Parker from our class and bent over and got the slipper imprinted on his arse, ended up crying. And I swore I would never get that slipper from him. In fact, I don't think I've ever got the slipper. My brother got the slipper once, and he came home and showed me and my mum his arse, and it was the imprint of the rubber sole on his arse, and we just laughed. We thought it was quite funny. But my mother didn't go mad. She said, "You probably deserved it." And that's what it was in them days. In them days, we didn't have pupils attacking teachers. That was unheard of. You didn't have pupils attacking teachers with knives and everything else, or ignoring what they said. If a teacher said something, you'd done it. And if you didn't do it, you was up in front of the headmaster. And 9 times out of 10, if the headmaster was in that sort of mood, he'd give you the cane across the hand. You know, one of them like very thin bamboo canes across the hand. You hold your palm of your hand out and they used to wallop you 2 or 3 times and it fucking hurt. Again, I didn't get the cane because I was too smart. But what I'm trying to say is, we had discipline in school in the 60s and it didn't do us any harm whatsoever. In fact, it showed us a bit of respect, discipline. When we walked into a class and the teacher said, be quiet, we were quiet. When the teacher said jump, we used to jump. But there was none of this, oh, fuck off, I'm not doing that. And the teacher, you know, gets all angry and you start arguing and the teacher gets stressed out. That's why there's no teachers nowadays, because there's no discipline in the schools. Now, going on from the school, now if I keep wiping my mouth, I apologise because I've got implants. And for some reason, it makes my mouth water quite a lot with implants. I don't know why. But anyway, after I left school, I joined the army. I joined the army there's a motorbike going past. I joined the army in 1975. I was in the army for just over 20 years. Now, when we joined the army and we was in training, we was told you start as a squad and you finish as a squad. In other words, when we went on exercise or we went for a run or whatever we did, if someone can't keep up, we dragged him along. And that built teamwork, that built discipline. But nowadays, apparently, you can't even touch the person in case he collapses and you'll get charged for manslaughter. So if you go into battle and your fat friend can't keep up, you say, okay, I'll leave you then, I'll try and come back later. And that's it. There is no discipline or comradeship in the forces nowadays. And I left in 1994 and it just started to change then. And it's not good. But let's take another scenario. When I'm at home, on a weekend, my mother says to me, go and tidy your bedroom. And I just, why have I got to go and tidy your bedroom? She used to shout, just go and tidy your bedroom or I'll tell your father. And that was it. That was the magic word, tell your father. Because I knew that if I didn't do it, she'd tell my father, and my father would have probably walloped me. Not hard, but it's a smack across the arse. He had a big leather belt, but he never used it. He used to take it off as a threat when we used to run. But, you know, it was just a slap and it was discipline. Nowadays, if I was a teenager and my mother said to me, go and tidy your room up, I could say, bollocks, you fucking do it. And what can she do? What can she do? Is she going to say, right, I'll tell your father when he comes in? And you say, well, fucking tell him then, what can he do? And that's the point. So the father comes in and the mother says, I've told him to tidy his room and he's told me to fuck off. And the father turns around to the boy, the teenager, and says, why don't you just go and tidy your room? No, I don't want to fucking tidy it. You go and tidy it. Well, it's your room, you should tidy it. No, I don't want to fucking do it. If that was me, and I said that to my father, he would have had me by the throat and fucking me, dragged me up the stairs into my bedroom. And he would have shut the door and said, don't come out until it's tidy. But what can a father do now? Absolutely nothing. He'll say, okay then, son. And then he'll go out to his wife and say, well, I've spoken to him, but he really doesn't want to tidy his room up. There's nothing we can do, because if we discipline him, he could take us to court or phone the police. Don't you think it's a load of fucking bollocks? All these do-gooders, church people, all these people that are crying out for this this bill to come out, have got it all wrong. If it's abuse, whether it's physical abuse over an extended period, yes, it's wrong, totally wrong. I agree with that. You don't lock kids in a bloody cupboard for hours on end. You don't stop feeding kids. You don't, you don't tie them up or anything. That is physical abuse. I agree with that. That should be banned, totally banned. And if a child suffers that, then he has every right to go to the police. But when we're talking about little kids, when I was in the army, there was a story, I don't know whether it was true, of this little girl touched an iron. And the mother burnt her hand with the iron to teach her a lesson of how hot it is. Now, to me, that is physical abuse. You could be scarring that child for life. But on the other hand, the girl has got to be taught a lesson, but she shouldn't have been burned. There could have been other ways to explain to the child. Maybe if the mother ironed a piece of cloth and just got the girl to touch it a bit and see how it's hot, maybe there are ways of doing things. But this bill to stop physical abuse really is a load of bollocks. If they're teenagers, it's not. If they're old enough to know what's right and wrong, it's not. But for a young kid, 2 or 3 years old, that touches something that he shouldn't do, or does something that he shouldn't do, or tells his mother to fuck off, which he shouldn't do, then a slap is warranted, in my opinion. And when I say a slap, I don't mean knocking from one room to the other. You should slap him on his hand or on his bum or something, and then explain to him the reason why you slapped him. And tell him that if he does it again, he will get another slap. Now, that's discipline. That's not abuse, that is just discipline. I'm not comparing kids with animals, but if my cat, which he did today, jumped over the fence on the porch to try and get to these female cats because he's horny and I won't let him, I grabbed him outside and I slapped his ass and threw him back in the house until he learns a lesson that he don't jump out when he's in the porch. And that's what you got to do with young kids. You got to explain and tell them what's right and what's wrong. But to bring out a bill to totally ban physical abuse, I think it's good on one point, but bad on another, because to me, you should differentiate slapping as a telling off, and physical abuse where you constantly hit someone, tie someone up, throw them in a cupboard, not let them out. That is physical abuse. But a young kid does not recognise that. He does not know what physical abuse is until he's older and understands the law on what this bill is about. So really, yes, it's up to the parents to comply with the new rule. But if a parent, like these ones from Pakistan, wants to tie their kid up and throw her in a cupboard for a week, who's there to do anything about it? Because the kid doesn't understand, she's only young. So this bill, to me, is a load of old bollocks. Because some parents say, oh yeah, it's a good thing, we shouldn't hit children, we should explain to them, but sometimes it doesn't fucking work. How many kids nowadays in school are attacking fucking teachers with knives? They do what they want in school now. Even in America, they're taking guns into school now. You know, touch wood. In the UK, we don't have that to that extent. Although I think Dunblane, I think that was a gun, Dunblane, but that was many years ago. But even teenagers now on the streets can do what they want. The police mean nothing to them because they know the police can't do nothing. The parents can't do nothing. Where years ago, when I was a teenager and younger than a teenager, we had discipline from the parents because the parents, it was their responsibility to discipline the children. But nowadays, parents run shy of their children because they know they can either get fucking stabbed or beaten up by the kids, or they just do whatever they want. And this is the truth of the matter. Kids do what they want nowadays because there's no discipline. Now, my hair's bothering me because I've been out in the porch watering all my plants. But do you understand what I'm trying to get at? Two different things here. Physical abuse and a slapping, a quick telling off. If your dog shit on the carpet, you'll smack him, won't you? I'm not comparing animals with kids, but that is discipline. You don't say to the dog, "Oh, Fido, you shouldn't pooped on the carpet like that, naughty boy." When my cat pissed on stuff here, I got his fucking face and I rubbed his nose in it to teach him a lesson. Mind you, it didn't help because he pissed other places, but, you know, it's this discipline, showing him what's right and what's wrong. But, or do I go to my cat and say, "Oh, Jet, you shouldn't really piss on the bed, you know, it's not really nice, it smells as well, it's not very nice, so just go away and just do not do it again." He'd jump off the bed laughing his fucking cock off. But if I fucking walloped him or rubbed his nose in it, at least he knows what the reason was. But yeah, it's sad, I think, today that in this day and age, teenagers, no discipline whatsoever. And that's why teenagers in parks get stabbed by other teenagers on a bus. Teenagers get stabbed in London on a bus. There was a case the other day of a 13-year-old girl was being charged for murder because she set fire to a house and this lady was inside. 13 years. At that age, I was playing football in the park and, you know, trespassing in the golf course to a pond to get frogs. Nowadays, it's too much isolation with technology and mobile phones. You go anywhere in a restaurant, and I look at it on purposely because I look at families that are in restaurants, and every fucking one of them, including the parents, are on a mobile phone. There is absolutely no communication whatsoever between anybody. So how do you expect any discipline within a family if they don't even communicate? And this is absolutely bullshit. Now, I live here in the Philippines. I've lived here 3 years. I've seen a couple of kids get smacked on the bum because they're doing something wrong. No harm. The kids, well, you know, they don't even cry. It's not that hard. But, you know they shouldn't have done it. A lot of the kids in the Philippines are undisciplined. They can do basically what they want, but it's no different to any other country now, because people are bringing out these laws that if you touch me, mother, I will take you to court. I swear, you touch me and I will go straight to the police station and I will get the police to come here and take you away. What can the mother do? What can the mother do in them situations? In my day, if I said, "You touch me and I will go and get the police and they will come up and arrest you," she would say, "Well, fucking go and do it then. And wait till your father's here, then go and do it." See? My father was served during the Second World War. my grandfather, the First World War, and they were all disciplined. To join the forces, you have to be disciplined. I was in it for 20 years, and everyone I know that was served in the forces are all disciplined. If you said to your Sergeant Major, oh, fuck off, I'm not doing that. Fucking hell. Your feet wouldn't even touch the ground. You'll be in that guardhouse in fucking jail. That's discipline. But nowadays, apparently, they can't even touch you on the parade square. They have to tell you they're touching you. Excuse me, Private, I'm just going to touch you and pull this bit of cotton off your jumper. In my days, he would have fucking gone right up to my face and said, what the fucking hell is on your jumper? That was discipline. You shit yourself if the Sergeant Major came up to you like that. You fucking, your arsehole was going like fucking bellows. But nowadays, it's a fucking joke. Anyway, that's my little rant of today about that new law that's coming out. Personally, I don't agree with it. I agree with short, quick discipline, a quick smack. Don't do it again, then they learn. But to ban it completely, I think is totally wrong. I think they're digging a big hole for themselves, because it opens up all sorts of things that teenagers can do, and as a parent, you cannot do anything about it. I don't know if that includes police, or whether the teenagers are locked up, whether they're not allowed to be physically abused or whatever. I don't know. To me, it just opens up a big bag of nails where they should differentiate from a quick telling off and physical abuse. I think they should separate the two. If I had my way, I would say yes, parents can discipline their children when they do wrong, just so that the child learns between right and wrong. But any physical abuse over a period of time, or the tying up, or the restriction of food, or the restriction of room, or anything like that, yes, that is a law. They can go to the police about that. But like I said, you get a young child, 4 or 5 years old, they don't even know about this law. And it's up to the parents to comply with it. But if you've got a 4 or 5 year old kid who's a right little bastard, and you do get some little bastards that don't do anything they're told, are the parents going to say to them, oh, we can't do anything with him because we're not allowed by law? Or are them parents going to take him on one side and give him a slap for what he's doing so he learns? The kid can't. The kid doesn't know anything about a physical abuse law. The parents may know, but who's going to tell them? Not unless the kid tells another kid who's clued up on the law, and he goes and tells these parents, and that parents goes and tells the police about these other parents. What are they going to say to a 4 or 5 year old? Did your parents hit you or not? I don't know. See? Anyway, I've had enough now. If you like, subscribe, share, throw it away, delete it, or whatever you want. But like I said, I don't do videos every day. I only do them when things annoy me, and I don't say any bullshit. Everything I say is my own personal opinion, and it's true. It's not clickbait or anything like that. So anyway, that's enough from me. Have a good day. It's now 10 to 1 in the Philippines on Monday, the 17th of March. Anyway, is it 17th? Yeah, 17th. Anyway, have a good day, and if you want to make a comment, make a sensible one. If you want to call me an arsehole, I don't think that's very sensible. Anyway, see you later. All the best. Bye-bye.